Hello and good afternoon to you. This is John Dobberstein. I'm senior editor at No-Till Farmer magazine and work with a team of people here at Lessiter Media that organizes and hosts the National No-Tillage Conference. Thanks for joining me today to have an informal discussion about the upcoming National No-Tillage Conference. I'm here to give you some background information and perspective about our event, and I'm also happy to answer your questions that you might have as we go along. We'll probably wait until the end here to answer questions, but feel free to start submitting them if something comes to mind here. I do want to mention, just to start off, that December 31st is the deadline to register for our conference at $50 savings for the first attendee and $77 for each additional attendee. So if you want to register at a discounted rate, you need to do it before the new year hits. First off, let me provide a summary about our conference. As you may know, it will be held January 7th through the 10th, 2020 in St. Louis at the historic St. Louis Union Station Hotel. It's our 28th annual conference, and St. Louis is always one of our most popular host cities, and we're looking forward to it. So just a word about the venue. The Union Station Hotel is a really beautiful, top-notch property. It's a AAA rated 4-diamond hotel and also a National Historic Landmark. After the first train arrived at Union Station in 1894, it became a focal point for train travel, and it would eventually become one of the largest and busiest passenger rail terminals in the world. Fast forward to today, and you're going to find a fully renovated and modern accommodations at this hotel, which has 539 rooms and suites. Just some of the highlights of the property is the grand hall that features historical touches, original terrazzo floors, green glazed terracotta bricks, stained glass windows, and wooden carpentry. It's really just breathtaking when you walk in there. Every day at 5, they have 3D light shows shown across the barrel ceiling, and later this year, toward the end of this year, they're going to open a new aquarium in the former train shed, which is part of a $187 million family entertainment complex. There's really a lot more that I could share here about this facility, so I encourage you to go to our conference homepage, notillconference.com, to find out more. But we're certainly proud to be hosting our event at such a unique and top-notch facility. An important note here about the hotel: today, December 12th, is the booking deadline for the host hotel. Booking today allows you to stay in the room block for the conference at a discounted rate of $109 a night. So if you're seriously considering attending and you want the group rate, you want to go to our conference homepage and get that taken care of today. Typically, our conference is attended by 900 to 1,000 people each year. The majority of them being farmers, but also agronomists, extension, and NRCS agents, and other stakeholders in conservation farming. A diverse group of people we get from many states and even different countries gives attendees a chance to meet and network with people from different areas than their own. Since its inception, the NNTC has focused on learning. Our goal is to provide attendees with as much practical nuts and bolts information as we can provide that they can take back home and possibly adapt on their own farms. And I really think this focus on learning is what makes our conference unique. And that's what's kept our attendance levels and engagement very high over the years. When you register for this conference, you're getting a lot more than just educational opportunities. There will be a lot of freebies, including a conference bag stuffed with our famous NNTC hat, special reports on the topics of precision farming and organic no-till practices, and other educational materials that will enhance your learning experience. First off here, when talking about the program, I want to mention that we're going to have 2 absolutely dynamite pre-conference workshops on Tuesday, January 7th that you may be interested in. That morning, Pennsylvania no-tiller Steve Groff will host a 2-hour workshop on the particulars of no-tilling hemp, a new specialty crop that is all the rage in the US. And he's going to talk about how to do that successfully and how that may add to your bottom line. In the afternoon, soil health consultant Jim Horban will lead another workshop helping growers to understand metarhizium and mycorrhizal fungi and how they're both essential to your no-till soil resource. Each of these sessions is an additional $99, and you can register for them on our conference homepage, no-tillconference.com. So here are some of what we'd call the other can't miss sessions at our event. Roberta Peretti, a founding member of the Argentinian No-Till Farmers Association and a consultant, will be kicking off her conference on Wednesday morning. He's going to share the main principles of his systematic approach to no-tilling honed over the past 40 years in Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay, the farms that he's managed there. He'll explain the benefits of integrating crop rotation, cover crops, carbon farming, and fertilizer use and placement to create an efficient no-till system. He's also going to provide a glimpse of no-till adoption progress and benefits attained in South America. Guest and Indiana grower Jason Walk will follow in what I think will be a fascinating discussion as he shares the components of his constant canopy farming system that includes relay intercropping, cash crops, and cover crops, and integration of manure to raise high-yielding corn, soybeans, and wheat. His goal is to capture as much sunlight and carbon as possible so he can capitalize on crop synergies, improve soil health, and suppress weeds. For this year's Harry Young Jr. Memorial Lecture, we're excited to bring attendees world-renowned soil microbiologist David Johnson, who's going to expand their understanding of the soil microbiome and share results of greenhouse and field research that helped him devise the biologically enhanced agricultural management system, which promotes regenerative practices to help no-tillers further ratchet up soil health indicators and improve crop yields and profitability. Another exciting speaker we're going to have on board for 2020 is Robert Sake, who is an agrologist, entrepreneur, and consultant from Olds, Alberta, who recently released a book, Food 5.0, How We Feed the Future. This book looks at the 5 iterations of agriculture culminating in a discussion of how convergence of technologies such as sensors, robotics, and machine learning is reshaping the farm and consumer, and where no-tillers can expect to find themselves in the midst of all this change. After his talk, we'll be having a book signing so you can meet Robert in person and purchase a copy of the book. Finally, on Thursday, we'll hear from Mike Bradison, our research scientist for the Ecdysis Foundation, who has opened a research site in Minnesota. He has some of the only data available in the US on how interseeding cover crops affects insect communities and how beneficial invertebrates react when growers interseed cover crops into what would otherwise be a monoculture. Something else for our 2020 program is an enhancement we've made to the Spouses program. During 2 repeated sessions on January 8th, American Farmland Trust is collaborating with our staff here at Lesser Media to host idea sharing discussions intended for women landowners and women involved in farming operations who want to learn more about soil health and land conservation practices. These are part of American Farmland Trust's Women for the Land Learning Circle program. Now, some of the things the women will learn is how to differentiate between healthy soil and unhealthy soil, practical and proven methods to improve soil health, and how to measure and maintain soil health through hands-on demonstrations of the slate test, rainfall simulators, and the slump test. We're really proud to be working with American Farmland Trust on this program, and we're excited to be offering something like this at our event. Of course, you may have some very specific no-till challenges that you're dealing with. And that's why we have, in addition to general sessions in classrooms, we have 70 focused no-till roundtable breakout sessions led by volunteer moderators that tackle dozens of different topics related to no-till. These are 1-hour interactive discussions in smaller groups. And it's not only a good source of information, but another opportunity to network and soak in more ideas to mull over on your drive or flight home. Of course, everyone likes meals, so we're going to have 2 major meal events at NNTC in 2020. One is the Responsible Nutrient Management Practitioners Luncheon, which will honor 3 growers who use responsible, innovative methods for managing nutrients responsibly on their farm. This event is sponsored by AgroLiquid. We'll also have the Early Bird Breakfast sponsored by Syngenta. And in that event, Jason Bond from Southern Illinois University is going to be talking about assessing sudden death syndrome and soybean cyst nematode threats to no-till soybeans and trying to find profitable strategies and solutions to battle those challenges. So one thing our attendees have told us in surveys is that networking opportunities are really important to having a good conference, and it's one of the reasons they attend. So we do our best to facilitate that. At our 2020 event, there will be various opportunities in the hallways as time allows during the 3 coffee breaks we're planning to have on the schedule, and at the roundtables. Additionally, on Thursday evening, starting shortly before 6 p.m., we'll have hors d'oeuvres and an extended networking session to give everyone an additional opportunity to meet up with your peers. Just a word about the sponsors at our event. We have 14 title sponsors at the National No-Tillage Conference, and there's certainly a key part in helping to make this conference possible. This year, they're Pure Grade, Montag Manufacturing, Equipment Technologies, Case IH, Fennig Equipment, KB Seed Solutions, Dawn Equipment, Needham Ag Technologies, Precision Planting, Syngenta, Copperhead Ag, Martin Till, and Yetter Manufacturing. They're all going to have exhibits set up in the hallways at the conference, and you'll have plenty of opportunities to stop by and discuss what challenges you may be having in your no-till operation and how they may be able to help you. So just a reminder again, now through December 31st, the cost to register the first attendee is $359, and additional farmer family members can be registered for $332. After December 31st, we'll be moving to the on-site rate of $409 for all those registering. We also have a one-day rate available for $240, and for those who are interested, please call 866-839-8455. Now let's move on to some of the questions that we had submitted to us. One person said, we live in Ontario, Canada, and I'd like information on cover crops and strip till, no-till from the northern states. On the first day, Jason Miller from the NRCS in South Dakota will be doing a classroom on facing down challenges with establishing cover crops in northern regions that I think will help. We all know no-tillers in the northern states have challenges with the growing season, and we asked Jason to put together a presentation on that so he can help with those challenges. Aaron Augustine from Wisconsin will also be talking about his no-till dairy operation, and that will include how he's interseeding alfalfa into corn. Jason Mock and Mike Bradison will certainly be covering some topics about interseeding and relay cropping that might be another conduit to getting cover crops in earlier in the growing season. And one of our roundtables will be discussing cover crop establishment in the Michigan-Ontario area. So you want to check that out as well. Another person asked, will there be a concerted effort to cement the understanding of the symbiotic relationship between no-till practices and regenerative agriculture? And yes, there will be a number of opportunities to learn learn about regenerative agriculture at our conference. On Thursday morning, Paul Overby, a no-tiller from North Dakota, will share how he's gone about implementing regenerative practices on his farm after striking up a business relationship with General Mills. On Friday, Dan Towery and Hans Koch, who are conservation consultants in Indiana that are known pretty well, will get to the heart of the question on why no-tillers need to consider adopting regenerative practices and how they should go about it. It all comes with putting together a plan so you can move through that process smoothly. David Johnson's discussion of the beam system will also certainly cover aspects of regenerative concepts. So that is the end of my presentation here. I'd be happy to take any other questions anyone may have about the conference. If you want to type them into this, the screen that you're logged into here, we'll wait for a bit and see if anyone has additional questions. Well, at the current time, I'm not seeing that there are any other questions right now. So I'm going to wrap this up here. If you have any other questions, feel free to check out our homepage, notillconference.com, or email me at jdobberstein@lessertermedia.com. We're really excited about all the different topics we've put together for the conference this year. We think there are going to be opportunities for everybody, and we sincerely hope that you're considering joining us. Thank you and appreciate it, and thank you for joining us today.